Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. So, we have a bit of a different video today, and actually, what am I kidding? It's the same crap every day. Anyway, so we are now officially, on about a 4-week break from The Flash, basically a month, just under a month. But I guess at the point when this video will go live or go out, it will be like 3.5 weeks roughly. Anyway, so we are on this break, but at least we have an episode when we return, which many people are looking forward to for a few different reasons. Like, it would suck if we went on break and the episode coming back was, say, an episode where there's this like ridiculously like overpowered car and Barry is just not in the episode. They'd never release an episode like that, right? But yeah, the main reason that people would be excited for this episode would of course be for the character that the episode is actually titled after or named after, that of course being Godspeed. Now, we were sort of dabbed on in the promo or trailer for the episode due to the fact that we actually didn't see Godspeed in the trailer at all. We didn't even hear his voice or see his lightning or anything like that. Like, if you hadn't seen the set photo of Godspeed for this episode, you would think the episode was baiting you and they just called it Godspeed for the meme. However, we can assume that the lack of Godspeed is for visual effects reasons and also maybe wanting to leave that, official reveal for another trailer just before the episode airs, or maybe they are actually saving him for the actual episode. But if I was to predict like the first proper look at him, it would be in a second trailer we get in about, 2 weeks time or so. I know people are complaining about set photos getting out there, but in this case, I think it's actually good because people would actually think it's just a bait if we had no idea that this episode actually had Godspeed in it. Like, if you looked at the trailer, you'd be like, oh, they're baiting us. So it's actually good that that set photo came out. People will still complain, but I think it's a positive thing that this set photo got released whenever it was, like a month ago or something. But one thing that many people have been wondering since the reveal of the title of this episode, as well as the set photo of Godspeed around a month ago, I think it was, as I said before, it's actually weird that it's been a month ago. Like, time flies. Anyway, yeah. Since then, many people have been wondering who will actually be playing Godspeed without the mask on. That, of course, being if he actually doesn't, have a mask on at any point in this episode. Because it is important to remember that Godspeed could be a character that shows up later in the series run, whether it be later this season or next season, or even later on from that. So it could be like a vigilante type situation on Arrow where the character shows up, initially and then later on a couple of times, but we don't actually learn the identity until much later on, and then their ears are screamed off or whatever happened there. In the case of Vigilante on Arrow, it was the following season, and the reveal was one hell of a letdown. Like, that was a yikes. Obviously, let's hope that Godspeed isn't just a one-episode character, but the suit looks too expensive to make, so you'd have to think he's going to be around for more than an episode. But on set, when they were filming this episode in parts, and specifically at the time that set photo of Godspeed was taken, the person who was under the Godspeed mask was that of Ryan Handley, I think that's his name, who is a stunt actor in Vancouver and has done stuff on Arrow and Flash before. The biggest character he would have played would have been that of Zoom, being the Zoom stunt actor back in Season 2. And I would also assume this season as well in the 100th episode. Not exactly sure if he was Zoom in that episode, but I'm just guessing he was. But yeah, he was in the Godspeed suit and was the one that some people were calling fat. Those people being the ones that were blind and couldn't see that he was on wires, meaning he had a harness underneath his suit, meaning he looked like a bit more of a thick boy than usual. So life lesson, kids, don't body shame, you look like an ass. But in regards to the actor who could possibly voice Godspeed, but mainly and most likely just be the proper person under the suit, like we had with Tom Cavanagh and Matt Letcher for Reverse Flash and Teddy Sears for Zoom, we don't have a confirmed casting for that role as of yet. And this could be because, well, Godspeed won't be unmasked in this episode, so there won't be any need to cast an actor in that role at this point because, well, what's the point? Or there hasn't been an announcement as of yet due to the fact they may want to use it as some form of like promotion and almost like a reminder for the episode before the episode actually comes out. So just like how a trailer or promo images can remind people of and just in general hype up an episode, the announcement of the character could be an exciting one as well and make the episode even more anticipated for viewers and fans. Now, one potential casting rumor has popped up over, I'd say about the past like 3 to 4, maybe 5 days roughly. It might have been up earlier than that, but in the last 3 to 4 days has been when this has been talked about a decent amount online. Now, I must make it clear, the source for this rumor or leak or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to say it's a rumor, but the source of it does seem to be coming from, or coming back to an account on Instagram called like CW Leaks, like some weird combination of letters after that or something like that. They have like, I think a few hundred followers. If I can find the account again, I will leave it linked in the description down below because I guess I have to link something. Now, when I first saw this, I didn't really think too much of it. I wasn't going to make a video on it. I think I even put it on my story with like a question mark saying this doesn't sound that legit. But then all these comic book sites, you know the ones, I'm not going to bother mentioning them. All those typical ones, they all jumped on this. So I thought I might make a video on it just to flesh things out properly and explain it. So just to make it clear to everyone, this isn't confirmed, so do take this with the dankest grain of salt you can actually find. Now, the rumor that was started here is that Godspeed, while unmasked, whoever that character is that is under the suit, whether it's August Hart or Apartment 4 or whoever it is, that will be played by Michael Rosenbaum. Now, Michael is obviously most well known for playing a younger Lex Luthor on Smallville back in the day, and is regarded as the best iteration of the character by most people, including yours truly. He just kills that role. Now, the DC TV Arrowverse shows haven't shied away from bringing back characters from former TV shows or movies in the DC universe to play other characters in the new universe of shows that we now have. So, like the actors such as like Dean Cain, John Wesley Shipp, Helen Slater, Terry Hatcher, and Amanda Pays are a few examples of those actors who have come back to play characters in the Arrowverse that are playing other characters in other DC related shows. Is that English? Hopefully it was. In the case of Amanda Pays, though, she played Tina McGee in both the 90s Flash and also the current day Flash. Now, many people thought that Michael Rosenbaum, if he were to come to the Arrowverse, would show up on Supergirl because he played Lex Luthor. So people thought he would play a villain for an episode or a recurring character throughout a certain season. Many wanted him to come back and play that universe as Lex Luthor, but that would have been a bit too much, And also, Michael himself said he wouldn't want to play Lex Luthor again if he were to show up on Supergirl in the future. But another character that Michael played, which he is well known for again, and people love his take on that character, is the Wally West version of the Flash on the Justice League animated shows, which I loved watching growing up. So it would be seen as fitting that he could show up on the Flash instead of Supergirl, and I guess him playing a quote-unquote evil speedster would be a change up from the speedster we're used to seeing him voice. Now, Michael has said in the past, I think it was on his podcast that he does, and I think it might have actually been the episode of the podcast he did with Danielle Panabaker, who plays Caitlin Snow on the show and also directed the Godspeed episode, so we are sort of connecting some threads here. Anyway, he said something along the lines that if he were to show up on The Flash, he would want to be like, it would be different than anything he's played before and not be like a ridiculously large role either, just like a come and go sort of situation. So I guess it would be fitting that he could take on this role that really wouldn't be that big, seeing that Godspeed would have a mask on most of the time, whether it be this episode or future episodes as well. And also that he mentioned this to Danielle in the past directly, and then she is directing the episode in question. Have you ever heard of stars aligning? Well, this could be an example of that. Now, outside of the fact that this started from like an Instagram account that probably has the legitimacy of a West Allen Stan account, the main thing that sort of affects this rumor is Michael himself and where he was on planet Earth when most of this episode was being filmed. I say most because I think for about 5 to 6 days of this episode's filming, he was elsewhere doing a convention and some other things. I'm basing this off his Instagram, by the way. But for those other days that this episode was filming, which he could have done some Godspeed stuff, I can't place him. And I'm not stalking him, I'm just basing it off his Instagram. But as I've said a couple of times, Godspeed would have his mask on most of the time, you'd think. So Michael would probably only be needed for 1 day of filming, and they could just smash out everything they need from him in that day. But even though I love the idea of him taking on the role and just making an appearance in the Arrowverse in general, the actual origin of the rumor, and just things that sort of collide with filming for the episode do make me think this isn't true at all. But you guys know me, and I'm an optimist. I try to look to the best of things and just see how they play out. So I will always leave the door open to this being true, but I thought letting you guys in on this now and just going over the legitimacy of it, would be worth it. But hey, we've seen stranger accounts and just more obscure things come up and say certain things and they've become true. So who knows? This could be legit. Now, seeing it's the break, I am going to be doing mini Q&As at the end of videos. So I'll do answer 2 or 3 questions towards the end of videos. So leave any questions you have for me in the comment section down below on the relevant videos. So whether it's a Flash video, an Arrow video, the go. So we have 3 questions here. The first one comes from Aaron Hafiz Graphics, who had the most likes when I asked this, 135 likes. So a lot of people were wondering this. He asked, why isn't the Black Flash after Nora? Even in the 8th episode of this season, we can notice how the Wraith goes after Barry, but not Nora. So with Black Flash only goes after speedsters that shouldn't exist or should be dead. So like Reverse Flash and Savitar. That's why Black Flash like targeted them. With Nora, she's still alive. Like she should still be alive. So the only things relevant that should go after her are the time wraiths. I still understand why did the time wraith go after Barry and not go after Nora. Maybe Reverse Flash taught her a trick or two, and that's maybe why the time wraith wasn't going after her, or maybe the time wraith just went over the bigger target, which in that case might have been Barry. It could be a plot hole, but Black Flash going after Nora isn't a plot hole because he shouldn't be, because she should still be alive. But the time wraith, yeah, bit of a question mark there. Ghost Toxic asked, isn't it sad that Orlan died to his own dagger? Yeah, basically when it happened, it sort of reminded me of that meme, like don't even trust yourself or whatever it was. But like it's like the doppelganger pointing the gun in the same person's back, just reminded me of that meme. So yeah, sort of sad, but F's in the chat for Orlan, I guess. And Isadora, hopefully I've pronounced that correctly, asked how the hell Nora calls Barry dad when they are in public. It doesn't make much sense. Sorry. Yeah, it's a bit silly. Nora, just call him Flash. Just call him Flash, mate. But exposing yourself a bit there. So just call him dad from now on. No, don't call him dad. Call him Flash. Call your dad Flash from now on. Just be a bit safer in public. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, it would be awesome if you could drop a like and show support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video. Would you like to see Michael Rosenbaum play Godspeed? Also, as I said, I don't think this is that legitimate, but I thought it'd be worth talking about. But yeah, leave your various opinions in the comment section down below and any other questions you'd like to be featured at the end of another video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.